Do you ever wish that your money had a superpower? Like, instead of just sitting in your wallet collecting dust and doing nothing, it could go out, hit the gym, and come back stronger or bigger, maybe even bring back a few friends along the way? Well, that superpower actually does exist. It's called compound interest, and if you use it right, you can make your money work way harder than you ever will. Because compound interest is exactly like your money hitting the gym every day, but unlike you, it never skips leg day. And the best part? You don't need a finance degree, a mentor off Wall Street, or some secret proprietary investing code to use it. It's literally the closest thing to free money you will ever get if you start now. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how this often overlooked financial magic trick can turn your pocket change into a fortune. And I'm going to tell you why waiting or pushing it off for even just a few years will cost you big time. Alright, let's start with the basics. Compound interest is when the money that you earn starts to earn money for you. Sounds a bit philosophical, I know, but bear with me. Think about it like this. Imagine you invest $1,000 at a 5% annual rate. After the first year, you end up with $1,050 in your bank account. But in the second year of the investment, you won't just earn 5% on the original $1,000, you will earn it on the $1,050 instead. Basically, your earnings will earn you earnings. It's like planting a money tree that starts growing more branches, each sprouting off their own tiny trees. And before you start saying, great, if only I had $1,000 to invest, well, stop right there because I'm about to show you how even the smallest amounts can turn into real, serious money. While it may not look impressive at first, kind of like watching grass grow, given time, it transforms into a full-blown financial jungle. Let's talk about something you probably hear all the time. If you just skipped your daily Starbucks coffee, you'd be rich. Look, I get it. Skipping coffee does kind of sound like torture. But imagine instead of drinking overpriced bean water every day, you invested and ended up with a house. Which one would you want more? A venti caramel macchiato or a penthouse with a rooftop pool? Okay, I know that sounds kind of online guru. Believe me, I've also gotten sick of hearing investment coaches talk about it. But let me show you why it actually does make sense. If you took the $5 that you pay every day and invested it instead, earning an average of 7%, you wouldn't just have a pile of old coffee cups. You would have around $180,000. Pretty crazy, right? You see, money has this incredible talent. When you give it time, it multiplies itself like magic. And then there's the magic of small habits. It's not about never treating yourself and living like some monk. It's about being aware and realizing that the power of where your money could be going. And if you think you're too late, just wait till I tell you about Ashley and Ryan. So now that we know how small habits can add up, let's talk about the real game changer, time. Let me introduce you to Ashley and Ryan. Ashley starts investing $200 a month when she's 25. Ryan starts doing the same once he's 35 years old. They both do this until they retire at the age of 65. Ashley ends up with over $500,000, while Ryan is left with just under $240,000. Same monthly investment, same returns. So how did this happen? Time. Ashley simply gave her money more time to grow. Because that's the thing about compound interest. The earlier you start, the more it works in your favor. Even if Ashley stopped working when she was 35, the money she had already made would still continue to snowball while Ryan played catch-up. This isn't just numbers on a screen. This is real wealth building, and it's why your future self is either going to thank you or laugh at you for what you do today. Meet Kevin. Kevin decided to wait until he had more money to start investing because he thought compound interest was just another financial hack reserved for the ultra-wealthy and their private bankers. Fast forward 10 years, and his broke younger cousin who started investing early is now giving him stock tips. Let me give you a quick hack to figure out exactly how fast your money could double. It's called the rule of 72. Literally all you have to do is divide 72 by your interest rate. Got an 8% return from the bank? Well, 72 divided by 8 equals 9 years of time to double whatever you invest. 12% returns? Your money will double in just 6 years. At 24%, it doubles in 3 years. At 100%, you probably fell for a scam. The point is, the higher the return rate, the faster the snowball effects can kick in. This is exactly why people like Ashley are basically stacking their wealth on autopilot. All right, so now that we know how compound interest works, let's get to the real question. How do you actually get started today? Well, good news. It's actually a lot easier than you probably think. Let me break it down step by step for you. If you can set up a Netflix account, you could set up an investment account, literally. First, decide where you want your money to start growing, because there are a few options depending on your goals. A high-yield savings account is a great choice for more short-term savings with very low risk. Interest compounds daily or monthly, but the return rates are usually lower. Think 2 to 4%. Then there's retirement accounts like the typical 401k. These accounts are perfect for long-term growth and tax benefits. These accounts will let your investments grow for as long as you would like, tax-free or tax-deferred. Index funds, or ETFs, are usually the best bet for high returns because they invest your money in broad market funds like the S&P 500, which can give you 7 to 10% annual returns over time. Next, you're going to need a platform to open your account. Some popular and more user-friendly options are Vanguard, Robinhood, Acorn, or Fidelity. Just pick one that fits your style, whether you want a hands-on approach or something more automated. Once you've got your platform, sign up and link your bank account. It's super easy and just like setting up a new savings account. Start small if you need to, but remember, the key is time and consistency. And now it's time for the fun part, picking what to invest in. If you're looking for the set it and forget it approach, just pick a simple index fund like Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. It tracks the top 500 companies in the world and has historic returns of 10%. Most of the previously mentioned platforms will also let you turn on auto invest. So every month, money will automatically move from your bank account to your investment account, compounding without you even having to lift a finger. And that's it. The hardest part? Starting. The most important part? Leaving it alone and letting time do its thing. But just remember the last example about Ashley and Ryan. The earlier you start, the more powerful that compound interest becomes. So now you don't just know how compound interest works, you can actually go and make it work for you. But don't click off this video just yet, because now I'm going to give you some tips on how you can supercharge your compound interest. Because now that we know compound interest is the easiest wealth hack, let's talk about how we can make it work even harder for you. Not just hitting the gym, but running marathons and competing in Ironman races for you. Don't worry, I'm not about to tell you to go live in a cave and eat ramen for the next 10 years. Here's some simple steps and easy tweaks that can make a massive difference. The first one is to increase your contributions slowly over time. Let's say you start investing $100 a month today, which is great, by the way. But here's where most people get it wrong. They keep investing the same amount forever. I mean, just think about it. When you get a promotion at work, a raise, or even a side hustle that starts bringing in some extra cash every month, your expenses probably go up, right? So why wouldn't you increase how much you invest too? Bumping up your contributions just 5% a year can make a huge difference over time. For example, starting with $200 a month and increasing it by just 5% every year will get you over $900,000 over 40 years, almost double what you would get if you never increased it. Why? Because every dollar you add gets compounded too. It's kind of like leveling up in a video game. Your stats just keep getting better. The bottom line is, make sure that when your income grows, so do your investments. My next step is to reinvest your dividends. Basically, just don't cash them out all the time. Let me give you an example. Imagine you invest in a basic ETF that pays 4% dividends per year, meaning every quarter the fund hands you free money just for holding it. Pretty sweet, right? Most people get into this spot and make one of two mistakes. They take out the dividends as cash and spend on something unnecessary, which is nice in the short term, or they leave it to sit in the account and do nothing, which is even worse than buying something useless. What's the solution? Reinvesting those dividends, instead of taking them out, set up automatic reinvestments so that the dividends go right back to buying more shares of the investment. And guess what? Those new shares also start to earn dividends, which means your investment starts to grow even faster, just like the snowball effect we went over earlier. It's free money making you even more free money, and the longer you keep it up, the greater it affects. Because the truth is, you don't need to be a stock market genius or have a finance degree. You just need to start and let time take care of the rest. So now that we know how to supercharge your compound interest, there's only one thing left to do: actually start investing. But I do have to warn you before you get started, because compound interest is not always your friend. It has a real dark side too. Have you ever wondered why your credit card seems to grow overnight? Well, that's compound interest working against you. If you carry a balance on a card with, say, a 20% interest rate, the debt compounds over time, turning a $1,000 purchase into thousands more if you're not careful. This is why banks love when you don't actually understand this stuff. They use it against you while getting rich off your money. So now you know compound interest is a double-edged sword. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. But here's the good news. You are in control. And when you use it wisely, the results are life-changing. Compound interest is often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, at least by me, and for good reason. It's one of those rare financial tools where doing less actually earns you more. So here's the real question I leave you with. Are you going to start using this hack today, or are you going to let the future you look back and get pissed? If you found this video helpful, hit the video with a like and be sure to subscribe for more easy to understand financial tips. Your future millionaire self will thank you.